Hello, friends. This is Max Cavalera from SOULFLY. You are listening to United Rock Nations, where the rock never stops. Stay metal.
Hello, guys of United Rock Nations. We are an amazing company with Max Cavalera of Soulfly. How are you?
Good, man. Good to see you.
Absolutely. We are here, of course, to talk about the new album, Totem. Our first impression when we listen to the album is that the tribal sound, it's a signature of Soulfly, has disappeared. Do you consider that Totem is a new chapter? Opens a new chapter in the Soulfly music.
Oh, yeah. Actually, we actually did a lot of percussion on the record, but it's buried underneath all the noise. There's so much aggression. It was difficult to make sure both of them stays listenable. But I think that you still can hear some of it, like in the end of Superstition. There's a very tribal piece.
Yeah, but it's less than the other albums.
Yeah. I mean, it's a bit like what I like to do sometimes is especially like on this record. I was going more for a more visceral, raw power kind of record, that's a bit, it's about the energy. Maybe it's because of the pandemic that was all locked up.
You
We're
were
all
angry.
locked up and angry. When you came out, it's like explosion. We need this kind of metal now, with more than maybe like fancy tribal stuff. And I love the tribal stuff, and I think there's a lot of this, soulfly groove stuff on the record, like especially songs like I think Totem is very
Yes,
groovy.
absolutely,
Damage Done, very very soulfly heavy groove.
absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I just had the chance to make some really. I wanted to make some of the songs just really kind of like just punches, just short and sweet and to the point, and
Perfect.
that's like Superstition, it's Cower in the Vial, uh, Filth Upon Filth, those are just like, I think side A of this record is one of the most energetic side A's I ever made in my
Oh,
career.
oh.
And that's
In the Soulfly career, but not in Sepultura career.
I think together. I think
Together,
even,
boss?
yeah. I would compare this side A with Beneath the Remains side A for sure.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. There's also a lineup changes in the band with the departure of Mark Rizzo. He was in the band during 18 years. So Dino Cazares joined Soulfly for some live shows. Tell us more about those lineup changes, the departure of Mark and the replacement with Dino.
Yeah, so the whole thing with Rizzo really happened. It was kind of coming, one of those things that for a couple of years we grew up more apart,
Yes,
almost like some tours without even talking sometimes, and it was like distant, and I think was time to split up. It was one of those things that just happened, man.
absolutely.
And of course, I was very disappointed of how he attacked all of us on media and made it sound like we're just a bunch of horrible people, and
Yes, I read also, yes.
yeah, it sucks, man. It was very disappointed, but I mean, like, to me, honestly, there was a lot of personal stuff, and also a bit on the music side. I felt that his some of the soloing was a bit stale. I wanted something different. I wanted, Soulfly needs to keep evolving, changing. It's always been the trademark of Soulfly. It's always going forward, changing. So I had this amazing chance to do two things. Live, I got to play with Dino, which is one
Exactly.
of my heroes. And I love Fear Factory. I love the sound that Dino has, and it was a dream come true to have him on the stage with me. Fans went fucking nuts. They loved it. And in the studio, it was a good opportunity because the guys that play solo on the record,
Is
even
Arthur
though they are
Arthur Rich?
Arthur and John Powers, they are kind of unknown. They are from the group Eternal Champion, which is very heavy metal, purist heavy metal, kind of Randy Rhoads style,
Ah,
you know.
okay.
So I was really intrigued about having these Randy Rhoads kind of solos on a SOULFLY record. This can be really cool. This can be very, very different, and it is, you know. And I think, even on the last song, we have Chris from Power Trip doing a solo, so another guest. So it was cool. It was different, but I think it made for the record what the record needed. It needed fresh blood, and we got new fresh blood in Soulfly, which is always good, you know.
So how they were involved on the songwriting process? Because there's Arthur, the John Powers, Chris Ulsh, and John Tardy from Obituary, of course. All these people are involved on the new album, but how they were involved on the new album?
Right. So as far as creating the songs and riffs, that's like I did all that with Zion pretty much for 2 years, make all the riffs and a lot of the ideas. Um, when we went to the studio, was bit kind of like putting a puzzle together, like building a pyramid, you know. Let's put this piece, this part with that part. Very similar to I was watching this documentary about Master of Puppets, and this is like Master of Puppets was created. Very very similar.
In the same way. Okay.
Same way, yeah. Which is very to me it was very interesting to watch that because I was like, oh wow, this is very similar to how I made the Soulfly record. You know, it's like all this. They had all these riffs and they start putting them on top of each other and create this big thing, you know. And a lot of times I didn't know what to some songs is cool, like Totem was we are jamming and the riff ended, but Zion started going and I loved it. I was like, yes, do that again, you know. And he was like, why? I didn't know what else to do. It's like that's what the song needs. It needs a small drum solo in the middle of the song, and everybody was like going crazy. Like, no, it's just crazy idea. I go, yeah, it's crazy, but it's good. Trust me. And so we put that in the middle of the song. There's a little drum solo, and it's cool. I love making records like this, which is like total freedom. You don't follow any formula, man. You just go, you know. It's like old school analog recording style.
And it's a great album. It's for sure a great album with great songs. So as I said before, the album sounds like a new chapter for me because, as you said, the recording sessions were different from the other albums. Tell us more about the death. You put a lot of death metal on this album. I know it's one of your influences, but you listen a lot of death metal. That's the reason why all the song sounds a little bit like this death metal spirit.
I listen to all different stuff. You know, I actually like really open-minded kind of music fan. But I think the energy and the power that I get from mostly three styles: hardcore, death metal, and thrash metal. Just three together always to me stands out as the very basic. It's a bit like I think it's what Motorhead started, you know,
Oh.
and after Motorhead, everybody else came and did that, and it's still today. I am fascinated by fast songs. I love playing fast, man. I don't know. I get old. I like going fast. You know, like It's like driving a car. You gotta drive fast. Don't drive slow. Drive fast. You know, same with music. I like to play fast, man.
Great, great. So we have talked about music. Let's talk about the lyrics of the song. Is there a particular topics you talk about on the new lyrics, or just lyrics? I don't know.
Most of it, most of the record is somewhat connected, you know, and a lot of it is a bit connected to forests, spirits, and almost like nature as this really big, powerful force that is like a god, you know. And I like that, you know. I think the first song was inspired by Superstition Mountains, which is in Arizona, this big, big, mysterious mountain. And there's many things that happen there, like people die there. And
Oh,
some people say there's Aztec gold buried, you know, it's very mystic. And then you have songs like that were not about this kind of stuff, like Field Upon Field is about society in general, kind of like what's happening in America right now. Like there's two tribes at war. You know, you have Trump people and you know, Democratic people. They hate each other, man, and it's like the field upon field. You know, like why they are fighting, everybody else gets shit. You know, it's crazy. And then there's a Scouring the Violet that has John Tardy from Obituary on vocals. That is about cancer. You know, I hate cancer, and I think it's like I could have make a whole record about cancer. You know, actually, I think that's an idea for the future. But it's like you know, it's an evil disease. It enter your body without asking you, just comes in, you know, and destroy you from inside.
exactly.
And kill. It
Exactly.
sucks, man. It sucks. So I wanted to make a song about empowering people to fight cancer, you know. So that's Scouring the Vile. And one of my favorite topics on the record is Spirit Animal, the last track, which is 10 minutes long. It's like an
So
epic.
I have a question about that song because it's 9 minutes longer. It's unusual for SOULFLY to make
Yeah.
a so longer song, and the end surprised me a lot because it's not heavy. So tell us more about that song, 9 minutes longer. How it was created.
Right. It was the main idea came from I was watching this music psychologist talking on TV, and he's talking about to make music that puts people in a trance or make people possessed by the music. It needs to be longer than 7 minutes. And I was really intrigued by this idea. Like, really, wow, that's cool. Most of my songs are not 7 minutes.
Exactly.
So, maybe I'm not put people in trance. I need to do this, you know. So that's how I created this idea. That's what gave the idea for an almost 10-minute song. You know, it's the longest song I think I ever created, and I think a lot of people don't really do long songs anymore. Maybe some prog bands, you know.
Prog bands, yes, absolutely.
And I like it. I learned to. I didn't. I remember when I was young, I hated long songs. I hated. I was like, oh, it's the only one that I remember that it took me a long time to get it was Venom, because Venom did one song called At War with Satan.
Yes.
That was like 30 minutes, I think it was, or 20 minutes. I don't know. It was long. But the more you listen to prog, and I listen to a lot of prog music myself, you know, I play with Troy from Mastodon. We are in a band together, you know. So listen to Mastodon and Yob and Sleep and all these bands that do slow, long songs. It was a bit Neurosis, of course. So it was a curiosity. Can Max Cavalera do a song like this? Of course, let's try it, you know. So I was creating this song little by little, intro, chorus, verse, solo, another part,
Yes.
and then the ending more melodic,
Yes,
more world music.
the end is different from the usual material you create.
Yeah, yeah. It was very, very cool because the ending is actually a combination of what I do and what Arthur does. Arthur is really good with that kind of stuff. Like,
Okay.
and he's the one that makes the sounds, like when it changes from the heavy to like, and it's cool because we were talking about that. It was like we were saying it's a bit uh, like a painting. You know, a painting that a part is more light
Exactly.
and then there's darkness here. You know, it's like shades, light and dark, and the combination. You know, so I think that's really important in heavy metal. I think. I saw a Tony Iommi interview talking about this because when they did Planet Caravan, that's exactly what he talked about. He talked that Planet Caravan was really cool in the record because it the made whatever comes after is 10 times heavier because you have this melodic song in the middle, you know.
Yes, absolutely.
And I agree with Tony. I think that's like the contrast.
Exactly.
You know, you have to dynamics in the record. But I really enjoy making Spirit Animal. I think for some people that heard the record, it's some of their favorite songs. It's this one.
But
I don't know. You know, it was just fun.
it will be difficult to play live this song because it's too longer.
We can, yeah. I mean, it's possible. You know, all the elements are there. We can do it. You know, I don't know if we're going to do it, but we can.
There's also
Maybe a special, you know.
there's also an instrumental song. It's not heavy at all. It's 12. I don't know if X11. It's 12. Tell us more about that song. It's only an instrumental song, 2 minutes, without heavy guitars. Why?
Yeah, every SOULFLY has an instrumental
Absolutely.
from the beginning. You know, it's like tradition. It becomes trademark, and every one of them are a bit different from each other, involving different instruments. Some of it had violin and saxophone and duduk from Armenia. And this time I was very intrigued by 80s Gothic music, especially Sisters of Mercy
Yes.
and Cure, and you know, like a lot of the the Mission, New Model Army. It's almost like melodic pop, you know, like clean guitars,
Exactly.
but you have a little bit distorted bass. You know, the bass is a bit distorted, and then you have like real drums, and you create a atmospheric. To me, it sounds very 80s new wave gothic mixed with metal, you know. And I think that's another cool idea that I think you can explore further, you know. It was cool to do it.
So let's talk about the artwork of the album. It's very beautiful. Tell us more. Who gave the main ideas of the totem in the cover, and who created this beautiful artwork?
So as far as I remember, not sure. I know that I had the name Totem. I like the name. I was reading about it, and I like the what it means for tribal people is a symbol of power. You know, it maybe it was. I think it was Zion's, my son,
Yes.
was the idea to ask the designer to put a totem in the middle and a forest around. And then, of course, in the forest, you have all the spirit animals. And then in the sky is like black sky with lightning. It's almost like maybe like Iceland or Norway, you know, in a Norway fjord, you know. And then, of course, there's the totem pole. I like the animals in it because you cannot really say exactly which animal is it. I think in the middle there's like, I don't know what it is. I think it's a warthog or a lion. I don't know what it is. It's a strange animal, you know. Maybe it's a invented animal. But I like the. Some people had said that they think that that represents the different phases of my life.
Oh,
The animals, and I thought that was kind of cool. Maybe the snake and the goat are the black metal days. The eagle is SOULFLY, you know. So I like that. I like that idea. But I love the design. I think it's a
exactly.
beautiful design.
And who
Yeah.
made it?
Buscema is the guy's name.
Okay.
Buscema.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about touring. We haven't seen. I went to your site today, and I haven't seen any tour plan at the moment. I know that when you record an album, then it will be released, and then there's a tour. So what are your plans about that? And of course, if you do you plan to come in Europe and of course here in France?
Yeah. Well, we love France. We love playing in France. You know. Some of my. I think the venues are amazing. You know, the food is great. Little wine. You know. It's always great to play in France. I hope October, man. I think October is what it looks like.
In Europe?
Yeah, maybe November, but if we try to do it, if it doesn't happen, definitely next year for sure,
Okay.
because we're definitely gonna tour for Totem. You know, I think it's I think it'll be cool to mix the songs of Totem with classics from the past. We have 12 records, so it's actually difficult to make set lists. Too many
Absolutely.
songs. There's too much choice.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then probably you will play also in the festivals, on the summer festivals on 2023.
Yes, that's the idea, and we hope so. Yeah,
Okay, we hope you to see you at the Hellfest next year.
of course, man. Yeah, we're missing this year, but next year, yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So thank you very much for the information about this new album, Totem. It will be released the 5 August, and it's a great album, really good album. Thank you very much for this music, and we hope
Thank
you
you,
the
man.
best, of
Merci.
course, for this record.
Thank you. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you. Bye.
All right.